Dragon Masters. Eye of the Earthquake Dragon. By Tracy West. Chapter 1. Maldred has the keys. Flash! A bright green light shimmered in the underground training room in King Roland's castle. 4 dragon masters and their dragons appeared out of thin air. Drake and his earth dragon, Worm. Rory and her fire dragon, Vulcan. Jean and her silver dragon, Argent. And Dharma and his gold dragon, Hema. Drake blinked as the green light faded. The light came from his dragon. Worm had strong mind powers that transported them from one place to another. "Thank you, Worm," Drake said as the green dragon stone he wore around his neck glowed. All dragon masters wore one. It allowed them to communicate with their dragons. Drake heard Worm's reply inside his mind, "You are welcome. Please bring the other dragons to the dragon caves to get some food and water." Drake told Worm. "We will stay here and report to Griffith." Worm nodded. Then Vulcan, Argent, and Hema followed him out of the training room. Drake looked around. Wizards filled the room. He spotted Griffith, King Roland's wizard, who taught him and some of the other dragon masters. "Griffith!" Drake called out. A tall wizard with a long white beard walked up to him. "Hello, Drake and Rory," Griffith said. "Can you introduce me to the new dragon masters?" "This is Jean, the protector of the silver key," Drake said. "And Dharma, the protector of the gold key." Drake had met Jean and Dharma on a mission to stop Maldred, a dark wizard. Maldred was plotting to steal 2 keys that would give him control of a huge dragon with the power to destroy the world, the Naga. When the Naga hatched a long time ago, he didn't understand his own powers. He created powerful earthquakes. So wizards made a silver key and a gold key to lock the Naga away. The keys had been guarded safely for years, until now. "Griffith, we have a big problem," Rory blurted out. "Maldred has stolen both keys. We've got to stop him before he unlocks the power of the Naga." Jean cried. "Maldred may have the keys, but he has not reached the Naga yet," Griffith explained calmly. "These wizards have cast a spell on Maldred." Drake looked around the room. The wizards were standing in a circle now. Drake recognized one of them, Hulda, a wizard from the far north. She and the other wizards were pointing at a glass globe floating in the middle of the circle. Magic flowed from their fingertips. Inside the globe, Drake saw an image of Maldred. He was standing still, like a statue. "Right now, the wizards have trapped Maldred in a magical dimension," Griffith said. "While he's there, he is unable to move or use his powers." Dharma spoke for the first time, smiling. "That is good," he said. "But the wizards cannot keep Maldred frozen for long," Griffith warned. "We need to act fast," Rory cried. "Before Maldred breaks out and goes after the Naga." Oh, Chapter 2. The Dragon's Eye. "How much time do we have?" Jean asked Griffith. "Not much. We expect that Maldred will break out of our spell soon," Griffith replied. "But the wizards and I are crafting a new spell that will stop him for good. The other dragon masters are helping us prepare it." Drake looked around. "Are they here?" Griffith shook his head. "Bo and Anna are gathering important items for our spell," he explained. "And Petra is searching her family's library for a special book." "Are you sure the new spell will work?" Rory asked. "Maldred already broke out of Wizards' Council prison once. This spell is much more powerful than Wizard's prison," Griffith promised. Dharma spoke up. "While you are busy crafting the spell, perhaps some of us could try to find the Naga," he said. He held out a piece of paper with a map stamped on it in ink. Griffith's eyes widened. Is that a map? Yes, Drake answered. Maldred might have got the keys, but Dharma got this from him. Maldred figured out that the raised markings on the keys created this map, Dharma said. He said these shapes are islands. Indeed they are, the wizard said. This is a map of the Dragon Islands. Maldred said this map showed him where to find the Naga, Jean said. But I didn't understand. How do we know exactly where the Naga is? Rory asked. Follow me to the classroom, Griffith said. The 4 dragon masters walked past the circle of wizards into the classroom. Griffith picked up a book. I have been searching for clues about where the Naga might live, he said. I found this rhyme. He began to read out loud. From deep within the earth you will hear his cry. The Naga's temple is in the dragon's eye. The dragon's eye? Rory repeated. Dharma laid the map on the table. Drake could see now that the islands made the shape of a dragon. The dragon had a head, a body, a tail, and legs. Jean pointed to a dot on the map. Look! That dot is where a dragon's eye would be. Griffith took a closer look. You are right, he said. He turned to Drake. You must travel to the Eye of the Dragon Islands. Find the Temple of the Naga before Maldred does. Chapter 3. To the temple! Now that we know where the Dragon Islands are, Worm can take us there in a flash, Drake said. But what should we do when we get there? You must warn the Naga's Dragon Master that Maldred is on his way, Griffith replied. Wait. Jean said. The Naga has a Dragon Master? Yes. But the legend of the Naga does not tell any more about his master, Griffith said. Did you ask the Dragon Stone? Drake asked. Griffith had a large green chunk of the Dragon Stone in his workshop. The Dragon Stone chose a Dragon Master for each dragon. I did, Griffith replied. But the picture it showed me was cloudy. There is very strong magic surrounding the Naga. Drake tried to imagine what the Naga's Dragon Master might look like. You'd have to be big and strong to control such a powerful dragon, he guessed. I bet the Naga's Dragon Master is a grown-up, not 8 years old, like me and my friends. We'll warn the Naga's Dragon Master about Maldred, Rory said. Then she made a fist. And if that evil wizard shows up, we'll make sure that he doesn't get control of the Naga. Griffith shook his head. Rory, I need you to stay here, he said. Every important wizard in the world is in this castle. If Maldred gets free and decides to attack, we will need all the help we can get. Rory nodded. That is true, she said. Vulcan and I will guard the castle. Thank you, Rory, Griffith said. He turned to Dharma and Jean. You two will go with Drake. I'm glad my new friends are going with me, Drake thought. I know I can learn a lot from them. We will do our best to protect the world from the Naga, Dharma promised. I know you will, Griffith said. Then he walked to a shelf and picked up 2 small, round mirrors. He gave one to Drake. Take this magic mirror with you, Griffith said. You can use it to contact me. And I can contact you with mine. Thanks, Drake said, slipping it into his belt next to his silver sword. Jean had given him the sword in the lair of the silver dragon. We had better go now, Jean said. Drake, Jean, and Dharma said goodbye to Griffith and Rory. Then they rushed to the dragon caves. Drake showed Worm the map and pointed to the Eye of the Dragon Islands. Can you get us to the Naga's temple? The green dragon stone around Drake's neck began to glow. Drake heard Worm's voice in his head, yes. Drake touched Worm's neck. Jean and Dharma each put one hand on Worm and one hand on their dragons. To the temple! Drake cried. Chapter 4. Underground. Drake's stomach flip-flopped as Worm transported them to the island. When the dragon's green glow faded, Drake blinked. At first, he couldn't see anything except darkness. Hema, please shine for us, Dharma told the gold dragon. Argent, you, too, Jean told the silver dragon. The two dragons began to shine with silver and gold light. Drake gasped as the metallic lights swirled together, sparkling in the darkness. That's beautiful, he thought. We're underground, Dharma said. Is this the temple? Drake asked. It doesn't look like the inside of a temple, Jean said. She pointed to a tunnel in front of them. Maybe the temple's down there. Hema and Argent lit the way as they walked through the tunnel. Drake looked at Dharma and Jean. I'm glad you two are with me, he confessed. I must be here because it is my sworn duty to protect the silver key, Jean said. But I'm glad that you are here with us, Drake. As am I, Dharma added. There is a reason that fate brought the three of us together. I believe we will not fail. I hope you're right, Drake said. Soon the tunnel opened up into an enormous space. Drake gazed around in wonder. The floor was made of smooth, dark stone. A very long dragon was painted across each wall. At the far end of the space, Drake could see a large ball of glowing yellow energy. Slowly, the three dragon masters and their dragons moved closer to the ball of light. Two figures were floating inside the bright ball. One was a boy with pure white hair, dressed all in white. The other was a girl with dark black hair, dressed all in black. Each of them was wearing a dragon stone. Those are dragon masters, Drake cried. Chapter 5. Two dragon masters? Why are dragon masters floating in a ball of yellow light? Jean wondered aloud. Maybe they need our help, Drake guessed. I do not think these dragon masters need saving, Dharma said. As Dharma spoke, the yellow light began to fade. The two dragon masters gently floated to the ground. Their eyes narrowed as they stared at Drake, Dharma, and Jean. Who dares to enter the temple of the Naga? They asked, talking at the same time. I am Drake, and this is Dharma and Jean, Drake said. We're dragon masters, too. He pulled out his dragon stone necklace and showed it to them. I didn't know a dragon could have two masters, Jean added. Are you both dragon masters of the Naga? The boy and girl didn't answer Jean's question. Intruders are not allowed in the temple, they said. They held out their arms. Streams of yellow light snaked from their fingertips. The yellow light sped toward Drake and the others. Quick, get behind Worm! Drake yelled to his friends. The three dragon masters ducked behind Worm as the earth dragon's body began to glow. A wall of green energy appeared in front of him, protecting them and the other dragons. The powers of these dragon masters remind me of Eco, the master of the thunder dragon, Drake thought. Eco learned how to tap into the powers of her dragon. They made her very strong. Drake called out to the Naga's dragon masters, please don't attack. We are not here to hurt you. We are here to warn you. Intruders are not allowed in the temple, the boy and girl repeated. They glared at Drake and the others. Go away! They raised their arms again, preparing to attack. Oh, Chapter 6. Erland Zelda. Worm, keep the shield up, Drake said. He turned to Jean and Dharma. What should we do? He asked. I could ask Argent to use his shine powers, Jean suggested. That would stop them. Drake shook his head. We can't do that. It might hurt them, he pointed out. We need to show these dragon masters that we are here to help. Drake? Drake? Are you there, Drake? A familiar voice called. The voice came from the magic mirror in his pocket. He took it out and saw Griffith's face looking at him. Maldred is free, the wizard cried. He is on his way to the temple. You must stop him from gaining control of the Naga. Drake held up the mirror. Griffith, the Naga's dragon masters don't believe us, he said. Please tell them. The boy and girl stared at the mirror. Listen to these dragon masters. Griffith said. They are there to help you save the world. A bad wizard is coming for the Naga. Drake added. The Naga's dragon masters looked at each other. They lowered their hands. We believe you now, the boy said. I am Yuri. And I am his twin sister, Zelda, said the girl. We are sorry we attacked you. Drake tucked the mirror into his belt. Worm's shield of protection disappeared. Yuri and Zelda walked toward them. How does this wizard plan to control the Naga? Zelda asked. Dharma answered her. He has the silver key and the gold key, he explained. Legend says that whoever unlocks the power of the Naga can control him. That is Maldred's plan. Yuri and Zelda gazed behind them at a huge door in the temple wall shaped like a circle. There was a dragon carved onto the face of the stone door. A dragon's body curved around the door. And a dragon head statue looked down from the very top. Yuri placed his hand on the stone door. The Naga rests beyond this door. He is at peace in his home, deep inside the earth. For years, the two keys were the only way to open the door and control the Naga, Zelda said. But then things changed, Yuri continued. The Dragon Stone chose 2 dragon masters for the Naga. The Naga's dragon masters have kept watch over him for a very long time, Zelda said. We are the latest ones to do so. There is nothing that can break our connection to the Naga, Yuri finished. Not even a powerful wizard. Jean frowned. You don't know Maldred, she said. Drake had a question. When we first saw you, you were floating in a ball of energy. Were you tapping into the Naga's powers? Yuri smiled. Yes, we were connecting with the Naga, he said. The Naga's energy is so strong that it lifts us off our feet, Zelda explained. Yuri stepped forward. Thank you for warning us about the Dark Wizard, but you can leave now. You don't understand, Jean said. Maldred has powerful magic. He will find a way to. Boom! As Jean spoke, a ball of dark red energy appeared out of nowhere and exploded right next to them. Oh, Chapter 7. Maldred's powers. It's Maldred!